It's Thursday night and it's time for a round of Spitball. And Ben, looking as dashing as you did on Tuesday night, mate.
The Batman wardrobe strikes again.
All right, we're going to do some Spitballs, just one each. Keep the video fairly lean this week, just because I'm actually going away and I don't want to have to edit too much while I'm gone. So a little bit
Where are
behind
you going?
That's a bit personal.
How long are you going for?
I'm going for the weekend. I'm
where do you
giving giving myself a long weekend down on the peninsula with my partner, and I don't want to have to do too much work while I'm there. So let's do this. My spitball's going to have to be dry this week too. I'm taking a leaf out of your notebook because I got no water. All right, I'll go first.
Do it.
Oh, what do you reckon it was?
I'm guessing it was David Lynch's June.
Close. It was Pump Up the Volume.
Oh, wow. With Harry Hart on.
Christian Slater.
And Samantha Mathis.
Talk about a movie of its time. Like, geez, like this is straight out of the 90s, this one.
Totally. And it still has, I think the soundtrack still holds up.
It is. It's a cool film. I don't remember. The last time I watched it would have been about 5 years ago. From memory, I remember it being as cool as I remember it being. Like, Christian Slater's always cool, isn't he?
I mean, but he had that great period where it was, I mean, it's actually, I'm drawing a bit of a long bow, but I think it was like Legend of Billie Jean. I mean, he was still a kind of a kid then, but Gleaming the Cube.
Oh, yeah.
Pump Up the Volume, Cuffs.
Yep.
In the Name of the Rose.
Yep.
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Like, he was on a really, and whether he was the lead or he was the second fiddle or just one of the ensemble. Like
he was kind of like the A-list version of the Coreys.
Yeah, totally. Except he was both. He was a young Jack Nicholson to their
to their whatever they were.
To their Coreys.
Yeah. And don't forget Young Guns too.
Electric Boogaloo. Of course, yeah. Young Guns 2 with Ginger Lynn Allen.
You'll watch this back and you'll get the joke I said and you'll laugh.
I just missed it. What did you say?
Electric Boogaloo.
I missed it. I blew it.
I don't know what to say about Gleaming the Cube other than it's a bit like a teenage version of The Boat That Rocked, pirate radio.
You mean Pump Up the Volume?
Pump Up the Volume, I mean, yes. Not
yeah.
Gleaming the Cube. I've got to go back and watch Gleaming the Cube though.
It's
because
I enjoyed it.
He had Gleaming the Cube and Corey Haim had Prayer of the Roller Boys.
Yeah.
Those fucking remember the skating with the trench coats? How cool was that?
Yeah, totally cool.
Not as cool as ice.
Wasn't as no. Who was? What was?
Van Winkle.
Only MC Hammer was as cool as ice.
Mm-hmm.
In that time.
Terrible. I've got nothing to say about Pump Up the Volume because I don't remember enough of it off the top of my head.
Yeah, I remember he's a student who runs a pirate radio. He runs a kind of pirate radio broadcast.
But they come after him, don't they?
They come after him, yeah, because he's basically preaching a kind of anti-authoritarian message. And then does a kid kill himself on the air or something like that? Like a guy who listens to it, not because of him, but because of the pressure his parents are putting him under. But rather than accept any kind of responsibility, the parents blame the pirate radio station.
Yes, that's right. And then he has that moment of contemplation. The moral dilemma comes into it. Do I persevere with my message or do I not? And I think he throws it in at one point, and then maybe it's Samantha Mathis that comes in and reinvigorates him.
Yeah.
When I'm gonna watch this again soon.
Yeah. It is a great film. I think it actually holds up really well.
Actually, in many ways, it's kind of like the teenage version of Talk Radio. Is that the Oliver Stone one? Was that what that was called?
Oh yeah, pornography and slasher films with
Ernest Borgnine
and is it Meatloaf? Is Meatloaf in it?
No, what's his name? The villain. Michael Wincott was the villain.
Michael Wincott. I know that it's Ernest Bogosian
he wrote it because he wrote the stage play for the film, and it's the only
what's Eric Bogosian?
Yeah, Eric Bogosian.
And
he Oliver Stone disowned the film because he didn't have a writing credit on it. So when that big box set came out with the Oliver Stone collection, he refused to allow that one to be part of it.
Right. I remember the video cover because it had like a novelty cover.
It's a great movie.
Remember that line, pornography and slasher films, because Triple R used to use it as their radio sting.
Yeah.
And in between the shows, it'd be like pornography, and slasher films. Triple R. It was great. And I remember for years, not like when I first started listening to Triple R, not knowing what that was from, then watching talk radio on video and going, "Oh my god, this is what Triple R got it
that
from."
would have been weird. Why don't you go ahead and throw one?
Alrighty. All right. What do you think it landed on?
I think that landed on Stand and Deliver.
With James Edward Almost, or Edward James Almost?
And Lou Diamond Phillips.
And Lou Diamond Phillips. I keep mixing that one up with American. Is it not American Me? The one where he's in prison, where he's the gangster in prison. There's American Me, which is the one with Jeff Bridges and what's his name? The kid from Detroit Rock City and Terminator 2, Edward Furlong. Which is a great film. Is it American Me? That's American
I don't know,
Me.
but if you had
it didn't.
If you had landed on Flatliners, we would have had a Young Guns 2 ensemble.
Yeah, it would have been Electric Boogaloo. It would have been would have been good, but it did not. It did not, unfortunately, land on Stand and Deliver. It landed on The Boy Who Could Fly.
Oh yeah, with Fred Savage. Is it?
Fred Savage is the only one I can remember.
Blair Underwood, is that?
I don't know who the kid is.
Is he the kid from Not Quite Human?
Yes, yeah, that's him. Yeah,
I think it's Blair Underwood. No, not Blair Underwood.
No, Blair Underwood's African American.
African American guy, but it's an Underwood, I think.
Yeah.
Oh well. Anyway.
Jay Underwood.
Yes.
Jay Underwood.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember it being. The funny thing is, I don't really. All I remember about it, it's been a long time since I've watched it, and I should probably sit down and watch it again. But all I remember is Fred Savage is being tortured by bullies, and he
on the bike.
On his bike, and he's got his water pistol and the
piss.
Like, you think I'm scared of a little water? It's not water. Oh yeah, what is it? Piss.
Yeah, that's all I remembered when I was a kid. He's his little commando, and when he comes flying around the corner, he does that massive skid.
Yeah,
cool as. As a kid, I completely I did not understand the film one iota because it's all about autism, right? And I didn't
I haven't
understand
seen it since I was a kid, so I don't. He's just a weird kid.
Yes, and Louise Fletcher, I think, plays the psychiatrist in the film, and
Nurse Ratched.
Having watched it as an adult, maybe I don't know, 7 years ago or something, I was watching it and picking up on all this stuff that, as a kid, I'm like, man, I had no idea there was mental illness at play here, and
Yeah, right.
Yeah, fantastic film. Is it directed by Nick Castle?
I think it is directed by the Shape, because I remember around the time that this came out, I think there was Daryl, Flight of the Navigator, Space Camp,
all these special kids movies,
War Games. Yep. They were the kind of a Project X,
The Wizard with Christian Slater,
the Wizard with Christian Slater. I'm the whiz and I never lose. I remember being very upset by that movie because it seemed like every kid in the world had a Power Glove except me. I didn't even have a Nintendo.
I was telling somebody about that.
2600.
I was telling somebody about that this week. The Power Glove. That movie really, same. I couldn't afford one. Parents weren't going to get me one.
No,
I had to live with my fucking Duck Hunt gun.
Yeah, I didn't even get the Duck Hunt gun. I didn't have a Nintendo. I had an Atari 2600, and then from the Sunday market, I managed to get a Sega Master System 2 that had, and the only game that I got was the game it came with, which was, I think, Alex the Wonder Kid. Yeah. That came with
good game though. Good game
in the console. It was a good game.
Yeah. What more can we say about The Boy Who Could Fly? Once again, 2 movies here that we haven't watched in a while. So.
Yeah, I know it's I can just tell from the tape that I hit. It's a Lorimer. It's part of the Lorimer catalog, which I think is now owned by Warner Brothers.
Oh, look, there is one person watching this right now who is absolutely He wants to hit us so hard, smashing the screen and shit. Jarrett, sorry, mate. We know that you want to do an entire audio commentary on this one.
Yeah, I need to watch it again. It's been a long time.
But all those films you listed, that era is just like that is our era, dude. That's our childhood right there.
But it's funny how those movies aren't being played on like Uncle Buck gets played on TV, I would say at least once a year. I don't think any of these films have seen the light of TV. Any of those films I mentioned, Daryl or any of that sort of stuff.
Even Short Circuit, like these tech movies.
Yeah.
Daryl was great. That's what Simon Windsor, Aussie director.
Yeah.
Flight of the Navigator had Paul Rubens as the voice.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, I didn't even put that together.
There we go.
Of course, it's Paul Rubens.
And you had the little eyebally things, all the creatures in the petri dishes around. Oh, so good, so good. Sarah Jessica Parker was the chick in that. Do you know what freaked me out about that movie was the concept of this kid goes into the woods and he comes back and it's like 10 years later.
Yeah.
That freaked me out, and what a great concept that is.
But I feel like it's similar to that, although not really, but similar to the kid in Near Dark, who's like he's 80 years old, but he's like still a kid.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, frustrating. All right, that'll do because I've got nothing else to add.
All right.
See you on the show Monday.
See you on Monday. Hopefully nobody dies.
Or
yeah, no, we don't want people to die, especially not Rosen Island.